Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Adil Jeffrey from the Market Studies Department at the Saudi Industrial Development Fund, and we welcome you to our very special November event. Before the beginning, I would like to present you with our safety moment. So today we are currently here, as you can see on the screen, on the second floor at the Saudi Industrial Development Fund building at CAVT. And these are the instructions of the emergency exits, the nearest to you, in case of an emergency alarm. However, just to comfort you, we don't have any planned evacuations today. So just in case of an emergency alarm, just follow the instructions and you should be all right. And in case if you are encountering any emergency situations, you can call 113 and we can address your emergency situation immediately. Thank you very much. And now, firstly, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all those who's gathering here today, including our esteemed guests, speakers, and all SIDF employees. I would like to express our gratitude to SIDF efforts in creating our very own November month, where we acknowledge diversifications toward an impactful community. November month has always given us the platform to discuss emerging trends in multiple sectors. This is the third year of November, which SIDF has successfully conducted and addressed various topics. And it is for the first time we are discussing the topic of waste management and recycling, a topic that concerns us all as a society. It is a topic that affects the environment and may create imbalances in the ecosystem. And for that reason, today we have with us the Saudi Investment Recycling Company, SIRC, who will be sharing knowledge about their efforts in the waste management sector. Also, we'll have the chance to discuss recent trends in new additive solutions developed by a renowned global company, Ingenia Polymers, for plastic recycling. And now, to start our day or event, I would like to welcome to the stage Dr. Mohammed Al-Qurashi, Team Leader, Project Development at the Saudi Investment Recycling Company, to enlighten us about SIRC's role in the waste management sector. Please come to the stage. Thank you.
السلام عليكم. صباحكم الله بالخير جميعا. First of all, I want to convey the gratitude of SIRC for giving us the opportunity to convey our vision and mission. My name is Mohammed Al-Qurashi. I'm handling the scoping and the projects planning at the technical department at the company. Today, we are willing to give you a heads up on the total integrated solutions that we are intending to go over it at SIRC side, as well as we will give you a heads up on the sales company that's the new mandate that have been given to us, which is more responsible in the oil and the hazardous spillages and the port shores around the kingdom, as well as we will give you explanation and SIRC's value proposition. We can say that our journey have been started by 2017 by no less than a royal decree, as you see in here, to execute and to acting as the executing arm for the waste management sector. And we are going to attract the global and local investors, improving the local content, as well as transferring the technologies and the practices in recycling. The ecosystem, it has to be done shoulder to shoulder with our regulator as well as with our legislator. We are working with Mawan and the Ministry of Environment to enable the whole sector as well as to give you the privilege to execute the most important objectives toward the waste management sector, achieving the national targets, which is a 94% landfill diversion, which is quite optimistic targets, by 2035, based on the following treatment mix. 34% it will be goes to the mere facilities as a recyclables, 28.7 it will goes to the imbecile composting facilities. 15.6 it will be incinerated for the waste to energy facilities, as well as there will be a 3% it will be distributed to the rest of the integrated solutions. This is how we are envision and how we are categorizing the waste which is given to us. First of all, the municipal solid waste from both sectors, the residential as well as the commercial side, the industrial hazardous waste, the lubricants from both sides, the mining wastes, including the, as you know, the red mud and the rest of the mining generated waste, the used cooking oil, the construction demolishing waste, the waste generated from the polyclinics and from the hospitals, the healthcare waste, which is also considered as the hazardous waste, sewage sludge or the sludge waste, the greeneries or the agricultural waste, the marine waste, which is the last mandate have been handed over to us, and we call the last category the special waste, which is the end-of-life vehicles, tires, electrical waste, as well as all types of batteries. As you can see, this is our executional arms. It's operational as we speak today. And here is the distribution of the operational entities have been, let's say, released or have been go live in the last 3 years. The holding company, which is well known, we established Yadum, which is more dedicated in the municipal solid waste, mostly for the RDFs, reached about 75 tons of treatment in Riyadh as we speak today, and all the material have been transferred to one of the cement factories as alternative for the fuels, which is equivalent to 180,000 barrels. We having Electa, which is dedicated for the electrical and electronical waste. We having ACAM, and for ACAM there is 3 operational sites as we speak today at Riyadh, which is handling the construction and demolishing waste, as well as it have been heavily participated in Jeddah demolishing projects. SAIL, this is the company which is responsible for the oil and chemical spillages. Industrial hazardous waste, the new entity name, it calls Refifa, and that's handle all the downstreams, all the waste generated from the refineries, petrochemical companies, and so on. Wazin, this is the company which is responsible for the medical or healthcare waste, the hazardous one or the hazardous part of it. And lastly, Aziat, this is the company established to take care of both type of lubricants and used cooking oil from both collection and treatment point of view. As most of you know, that's the total generated volume, it's 116 million tons per annum, have been distributed, as you've seen in this pie chart. Most of it, or the bulky part of it, which is represent 41.7% for the construction demolishing waste, and this is quite a justified percentage based on the transformation that we are witnessing nowadays and the demolishing the projects which is executed as we speak. As well as the municipal solid waste represent the second rank waste type, about 30%, and the agricultural waste 21%, and then each percentage goes to the rest of the waste types. As you can see here, our benchmark and the model examples that we are trying to meet, and the concept and the methodology that we are adapting inside CERC holds that we do want to reinvent the wheel. We want to start where the others end. So we took the most successful or the success stories have been constructed in the last 30 or 40 years, and we found out Germany, Finland, and Sweden. Most probably Germany and Finland have been reached 100% landfill diversion with different or slight difference on the recycling rate, and this is depend on the need of the country itself. If you look in Japan, the recycling rate, it's 19%, and the rest of the percentage goes to the waste energy, because Japan, as you know, it's quite hungry for energy, and the same stories applies for the rest of the country. It goes from the demand of the country, and from where we want to convert the integrated solutions to the demand have been asked to the national level. The journey took them is about 20 to 25 years. Our tough mandate and target, it's require us to execute it in 10 or 15 years maximum. It's quite achievable, doable, as long as all the enabling items have been stand with us. So we believe this is something we can execute and we can achieve within the set targets. Here is the waste management value chain, which is clearly aligned with the National Center of Waste Management, Mawan, and based on their national master plan, which is, I believe, in the final touches for Riyadh and the rest of the regions. There has to be source segregations to execute and to do our investments and to deliver the percentages that we promise for. There will be 3 bins. The organic waste will go for the green bin. The recyclables, it has to be collected for the blue bin, and all the contaminated and the mixed waste, it has to be goes for the mixed for the black bin. And this is the most common practice. We are not inventing a new thing here. This is the most common practice for the sake of the treatment and for the sake of finding or adding value for the waste we are receiving at our collection facility. This is the integrated solution for both solid waste as well as for the organic waste. We'll take them in separate. Here is the composting value chain. Any source of the organic waste, it has to be source segregated. It has to be delivered to our facilities. And once it's reached there, there has to be in-vessel compostings, which is going, it's quite not complicated process. It's quite well known, and it will the offtakes, it will goes for the parks and the farms as well as for the landscapes, which solve a problem in the first place. And here is the other integrated solutions for the blue and the black bin. The blue bin, it will goes to the material recovery facility, which will segregate glass, metals, paperboard, and the rest of the materials, and it will be traded within the local recyclers. The mixed waste or the contaminated waste that we cannot deal with, it has to be delivered to the waste-to-energy facilities, which take all the mixed and the contaminated waste to generate electricity by connecting them to the grid. The clusters idea or the integrated solutions for MSW, this is one part, and the rest of the 13 waste streams, it has to be handled in another facility. We call it the Sustainability Park. The Sustainability Park will consist of a 13 facility to handle all the waste types other than the municipal solid waste. And there will be a sustainability park in each major region in the kingdom. Here we are given a heads up or an idea about our operations. For example, for one of the owned company, ACAM, these pictures for the facilities which is here in Riyadh. It's have been working since the last 3 years. We are receiving a huge quantity, more than 16,000 tons per month to this facility. And the process is quite a well-known process. It's basically crushing and screening the received material, and we are making value out of this material by generating a washed aggregates. It might be colored, as well as we are generating a subgrade, let's say, material which is using in the asphalting and so on. So this is an example that for the integrated solution that we are providing to solve a problem and also to add a value to the national level. And also here, part of the operations as well from Riyadh. And as you can see here, we are reducing the uncontrolled disposal of the waste. We are reducing the environmental concerns, eliminating the consequences, and so on. Reviva is the responsible company to handle the industrial hazardous waste, all the waste generated from the petrochemical and refining companies. It has to be handled in an environmental manner. And Reviva, it's an acquired company. It's acquired back into 2018. It's called back in the days James. And we're having 3 operating facilities, one in Jubail, the second one in Bugayq, Dammam, and one in Yumbu, the headquarter in Jeddah. The market share for this company is more than 40% of the generated waste from the, let's say, petrochemical and refining sector. It's have been handled by Reviva. Also, as you can see here, we are receiving a waste from the shipping ports, from the power plant, utilities, the ash disposal. This is something handled by Reviva, and the food processing and the resulted waste out of it. We are talking about the expired food. It's handled as hazardous waste. Electa is the responsible company to take care of the electrical and electronical waste, and there was an initiative in one of the applications, Jahiz. It's called Tadwirha. We believed we have been successful in this initiative. We collected more than 60,000 pieces in a small period of time. The idea is crushing those materials and to extract the precious items out of it and to sell it as raw material. Sale is the last mandate have been given to us, which is simply that the vessels or the ships which is handled the oil all over the shores, it's quite resulting in some of the spillages, and these spillages is not monitored, and the idea is to monitor these spillages and to handle it later on. This is the value chain of the operation by first detecting and monitoring the spillages, as well as finding out to trace back the responsible ships or vessels for these spillages. And then we are sending our vessels to contain these spillages. Once it's have been recovered, we are taking it back to our facilities, for example, Reviva, as let's say a mixed oil with a mixed oil to be further segregated through the centrifugal force facilities, and we are taking these oils back to the value chain. And once we are recovering these materials, we are restore it and rehabilitate if there is a damaged areas or soil have been contaminated. The idea behind the detecting or the traceability, there will be a satellite monitoring all over the shores. We're talking about the Arab Gulf as well as the Red Sea. There will be an active surveillance assets. The control room will be here in Riyadh to take care of the both angles of the challenge. The responses, vessels and boats, it will be exist in a multiple points across the shores. Skimmers, booms, and the other equipment, we call it the containment equipment, which is contain the spillages after it happens. The value proposition, as you can see here, have been reached and being knocked by most of the most important companies working in the waste management sectors, and we are currently partnering with Veolia, Suez, Herbacare and Aqua Power in the ongoing projects in Riyadh. And as we mentioned in the beginning, this is for a reason to leverage the practices as well as to raise up the bar of the, let's say, the practices which is going on nowadays. This is one of the examples and the model examples. We have seen it and we believe it's quite achievable and doable once the right way have been implemented. We're having our research and development center, and we are partnering with the programs, with the international programs and local programs, as you can see here. And therefore, we have been ranked the second research and development, promising research and development center by Forbes last year. And this is part of the ongoing, let's say, efforts towards the waste management sector, along with the local players. And as you can see here is the business model that we are adapting inside Circles. The first business model is ownership structure, which is, it has to be an ownership which is 50% by CERC, local partners and international partners. And this model has been implemented for the Riyadh cluster. The second model, which is the capital investment, to a 30 to 20% equity and up to 80% debt. The last model, which is the BOO model, build, own and operate. Throughout the contribution of upgrading the recycling sector, we will achieve a job creation more than 77,000 jobs, and will contribute for more than 120 billion to the national GDP, improving our environment and as well as reducing the carbon emissions, and also contributing to the ongoing agreements on the national level. The material will be available in this barcode for those who is interested to have it. And thank you very much for listening. And please, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
You said that CERC has acquired a company called GEMS.
Yes.
That processes the petrochemical waste in Jubail and Yambo.
That's right.
So that way, like, you are creating a monopoly because you have big muscle, PIF. What will happen to the smaller companies like BIHA?
Thank you for these questions, and I'm doubting if is it a monopoly. James is not the only player in the sector. When we acquired it, they used to control less than 30 or 20% of the market share. There were another 5 or 6 players, so I'm not quite sure from where the monopoly it comes from. But what I can assure here, that we are intending to work with the local players, as well as if there is international players want to partnering with us. Also, if there is a players just want us to enable them to enter the market, it will be great for us, because this will be directly contributing to our national target and mandate. I hope that answers your question. Which one? Sure. I think, yeah. Go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for giving this opportunity to know more about CERC operations. I have 2 questions, actually. The first question is, do you have any plans to invest in the recycling of another waste, like the nuclear waste, just as an example, because there is a plans to have some power plant which is counting on the nuclear power, and then nuclear material to produce the electricity. And the other question about the process itself for the recycling, to what deep we can go through the processing, targeting and reach the specification for the product itself. Because as you know, doing the recycling process, it might affect the physical properties. I'm talking in the plastic, for example. To what deep we can invest in the recycling process to improve the specification for the final product.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I see your question. For the first one, just in a nutshell, the military and the nuclear waste is out of our mandates. This is the only two types that we are not mandated to take care of. That's to answer your question regarding the nuclear waste. Regarding the specifications, I believe our approach is very clear. We are working with the regulator and the legislator as well as the accreditor. And these three entities, which is MAWAN and MIWA, the Ministry of Environment, as well as SASO, the standardization body for the kingdom. So the thing, it has to start from the early stage. Once the master plan has been initiated and approved by the National Center, and let's say the treatment method, it has been approved by the National Center, we are taking it to the SASO, the standardization body, to find out if there is available specification to comply with. If not, we will explore what is the existing standardization among ASTM or ISO or whatever standardization to stick with as a starting stage. This is, I believe, the approach to work out the specification. And we have to take it from a different angle. From the off-taking angle, we also looking for the specification which is required by the off-takers, which is the client on the other side. And we try to fulfill it through these constraints, which is the regulator, the accreditor, and the legislator. I hope this answers your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mohammed Al-Qurashi, for delivering the important message about the role of CERC in the waste management sector. And now, to continue our journey in this special event, I would like to invite Dr. Mansour Al-Breiki, Manager of Sustainability at Ingenia Polymers, to brief us about the additive solutions to improve the recyclability of polyolefins. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much for SDAF for this opportunity. First of all, my name is Mansour Al-Breiki. I'm here on behalf of engineer scientists to present some solution for recycling. So we'll start with the introduction about engineer, and then I will go with the two solution for recycling and how we can improve the quality of recycling. And then for the summary. So Engineer is a company established in 1986 in Brantford. They have 7 facilities around the world. 2 in Canada, 2 in Houston, and they have 1 in Jubail here in Saudi Arabia, and 1 in Abu Dhabi, and 1 in India. We have 3 research centers in Houston and also in Canada, Brantford, and in Jubail. Our main business is master batch additive. We support. We have two types of market. One is focusing with resin producer, and the other for downstream. We have different brand, and under this brand we have different solution for different challenge in the market. So for the sustainability or recycling, we have the Encircle brand. Under Encircle, we have more than 15 grade. Each grade is focusing on specific solution coming from the material or from the processing during the recycling stage. And also we have another brand which is InBio, which is focusing on biomaterial and the biodegradable material to improve the performance of the material in the market. So right now, why we focusing, or the last 5 years we focusing in recycling and development in recycling. We have, if we're looking for the market, we'll found right now we have more than 400 metric ton yearly is resin producer or plastic. Is only 9% of it is go to recycling, and more than 50% is go to the landfill, and 20% of that is go to mismanagement, let's say. And by 2060, we're talking about more than 8 millions will be go directly to the ocean. 8 million metric ton go directly to the ocean, and this is increase, let's say the government action and the most of the brand owner, and they start making mandate or target for most of the production they have it. For example, we have, if we're talking about the biggest a brand owner in the world, Coca-Cola, they have mandate for 25% of the material from recycling. PepsiCo also, they have the mandate for 2025 to be 50% of the material coming from recycling also. Nestlé, they're talking about 30% of the material to come from recycling. So and here in Saudi Arabia, when we're talking about Saudi Arabia, we're talking about SABIC is the biggest producer for the material. They have them. I think they're looking for produce around 1 million metric ton by 2030 as through the chemical recycling and mechanical recycling. Also, we have the mandate is coming from CERC. Actually, I have the old number here, but you just update me with it. So the total plastic go to the municipal here in Saudi Arabia, we're talking about 2.3 millions as plastic going to the municipal. So by CERC plan, we're talking about 30% of this, they need to be recycling. I'm right in this, right? Yeah? So we're talking about around 700,000 metric ton to go through recycling, mechanical recycling, which big number in Saudi Arabia. So so we have couple solution for that to solve the challenge coming from the processing. So especially with the polyolefin material. So when we talk about processing polyolefin, we have stabilizer because most of the material when they produce it with after polymerization, after the polymerization is done, they add couple percentage of antioxidant or stabilizer. So when you increase the heat history or you run the material again and again, you change the behavior of the material and you reduce the quality. So and also the multi-layer or the contamination is coming. So some of the material you cannot sort it and you cannot separate the material. So you need to process it as is with different type of material And if you go to the melt stage and you try to produce material without homogeneous mixing or without stabilizer, this material will be weak and they will not be like good for end application or for the plastic part. So we develop like stabilizer for this material to help the material. They cannot sort it or separate it 100%. So also we work with different solution for the recycler. As engineer, we are not recycling company, but we support with the technology or solution for the recycler or the brand owner. They are working in recycling. So we have like some of the project we already developed, which the H2O absorber, which help after the cleaning the material. If you want to go to the melt stage for the material, and they have some water and this material to absorb it. Some material after they come from landfill, they will have like some smell, so they need to get you need to get the smell from this material. And let's say the bag, they have printing in it and ink in it. So during the recycling also they have some smell. You cannot use it in recycling again. We develop different solution for this challenge. And also we work with our partner to investigate the recycler stream and to develop like the solution for a specific solution for that. So the antioxidant or the stabilizer for recycling material. So as I mentioned before, the most of the petrochemical, they just add like standard antioxidant during the process after the polymerization. So after the polymerization, the polymer or the plastic is coming as a powder. So if you heat it to start like process it, they will change directly to yellow, or they will be affected directly. So the petrochemical or resin producer, they try to protect this material by adding small amount of antioxidant. When you go to process this material during the manufacturing, you lost this antioxidant. By repeating process the material, you lost it more. So as a solution, we can provide like antioxidant for the recycling company to increase the protection for the material during the recycling stage. Because this is also affect like the mechanical behavior, the quality of the film if they want to use it again in recycling. So we come with liquid-based antioxidant. The liquid-based antioxidant is better solution than the standard or the traditional antioxidant. But the challenge in this antioxidant is the master batch or high filled material or master batch you will produce, because it's liquid and you want to add it with the polymer. So we have a novel development in this area, and we produce it as a master batch, the liquid phase antioxidant phosphate. Sorry. So again, in Genia we have the 1415, which the traditional, and we have 1416 antioxidant, which is the liquid phosphate, and also the 1417. Both 14 and 17 is liquid phase. They give more performance during recycling. I just want to mention this picture in the bottom. So batch 0 is the material when the material coming from resin producer. So when you reprocess the material start to change. See, batch 1 and 2, this is during the manufacturing of the material. When you go to the 3, 4, 5, this is usually the recycling stage for the material. It's depend about the process, but they start from 3 to 5. If you didn't protect the material during recycling stage, you will end by the yellowish in the material, and you will have the gel and the mechanical degradation. So we do this experiment with the different antioxidant to solve this problem. We use the traditional antioxidant. We use the both liquid phosphate to reduce the change in the material during the reprocess plastic. So we came with this study, the melt flow rate, which show us the cross-linking in the film and the gel, if the gel is start like creating it during manufacturing. So when the MFR or the rheology of the material, the viscosity of the material is increased, you will have low MFR. And this is show us that the quality or the cross-linking is start like creating in the material, which it's not good for reproduce the film again. So the first one is the material coming directly from the petrochemical, and we can see the blue line, how the blue line is go down. So we have a lot of gel created. So when you add antioxidant, or when you save your material during the process stage, you will have some saving. You can see how's the material, like the melt index for the material, or melt flow rate is increasing, not reducing, which means low gel contact and during the process. Also, the yellow index test show us that when you add the antioxidant, especially 16 and 17, you will have low change in color during reprocess the material. So when you go to the 4th run or 5th run, you recycle your material more time, you will not have effect. See, if you compare like 17 and the last one. So if we compare the standard one with the last run with 1417, you will see the yellowish is very low. And this is the gel count for the material. So the gel account actually is test. They use it for checking the quality for the film when they produce the film again. So when you run the material without antioxidant, without production for the material they cannot be run more than like 4 times. See, when we go to the 5th run, the material cannot be like run, or you can produce the film from that. So, but by adding antioxidant during the recycling process, so you will be able to reach to the more than 5 run and producing film also. And the best performances go with 1417 material. So the summary for that. So by using the antioxidant, you will be able to produce the film again. You can process the film coming from landfill or from the production line again with 100 like percent of the material. And by adding like another solution with the multi-layer compatibilizer, you will be able to also run the film with some contamination in the material coming from other polymer, if it's not possible to sort this material out from your stream or from recycling. So the other one is talking about like the compatibilizer. If you have like 20% or 15% of your material is contamination or engineering resin. So if we're looking for food packaging in general, so the food packaging, they use the multi-layer in it. So the multi-layer coming with some engineering resin, which has high temperature, and they have polyolefin. So if you will recycle this material directly, you will come with damage one of this material, because the polyolefin in general, it's run between like 180 to 220, and if you're looking for engineering resin, it's reached to 280. So if you go to 280, you will degrade the polyolefin material, and you will damage it, and you will lose the mechanical behavior of the material. And if you run at the polyolefin material or polyethylene, let's say a material, the engineering resin will be not melted during your process, and you will have it as like big pieces like during, and you will not have good homogeneous mixing. So usually the idea for compatibilizer or adding compatibilizer for material, you cannot sorting, or you cannot separate like the engineering resin, is to reduce the engineering resin or the engineering resin in the matrix. So you have PET or nylon or the ethylene vinyl alcohol, you have it in the matrix of polyethylene. The idea is to reduce this drop for the engineering resin, the blue one, to reduce it and do like more homogeneous mix inside the matrix, to increase the interface between the matrix and for the material, to be easy for the material to melt, and you get like good mechanical behavior. So we did this experiment, and we tested. So this is testing, or what I present right now. The experiment is just to approve, but this material is all like commercialized. It's all working with our customer in North America, and we start working in this here with some of our partner in Saudi Arabia. So we test this follow the Association of Plastic Recycler in North America, which give us the guide for how to test the recycler stream, and if you can use it in your production line, and like it's with the FDA, so they will be FDA approved. Yeah. This is the protocol we use it actually for the Association of Plastic Recycler. So as I mentioned, this is like protocol to test the recycler stream and the additive you use it for this material. So we develop three material, or we mix three material, reprocessed polyethylene film, and also as a controller, as a master for us to compare it with the recycling material. And we do 100% multi-layer material, which it's material you cannot separate it together, with adding a master batch in it. And also we mix between reprocessed material and the material is not separated, let's say, the multi-layer or the material they use it for the food packaging. And we create this three formula in single extruder with adding the antioxidant in it to protect the material during the process. And we came with this. See, the first test, this is under the microscopy. So the first one, this is the recycling material when you run it without compatibilizer. So you will have the contamination, which is the The big drop, you see it here, is around like 20 macro or 25 macro. And this is the weakness in the film. So you will have low mechanical behavior or properties in this film due to this material, or due to this drop. So when we add 20% of our compatibilizer with the same material, you can see the 25 macro drop is almost, you cannot see it there, because we reduce this drop and we increase the interface between the matrix and the material. Also, if we go through the thermal analyze, which give you like the response of the material, depend about the temperature you added to this material. So the first one, the pink one, is for the nylon, because this material is not separated, is polyolefin with the nylon together, and we account the nylon as contamination in the material, because in the end we're targeting the polyethylene stream. So the first peak here we have it is for nylon, for only nylon. The second one, the green one, which for the low density polyethylene. So the blue one, this is when you mix two material together without compatibilizer. So you will have different response from the different material from the same matrix. So you will have two material in your matrix or in your mix compounding. They give you different response, and this will affect the final product you will produce it from recycling. The fourth one, this is the first generation we produce for the compatibilizer. And this is the last one, which is the 1601. So you can see you only have one peak in it. Means the nylon or the polyamide is dispersed inside the matrix. The interface is increased. So they give you like more polyethylene behavior. And we create film from this material. After we compound it, we create a different film with all three compounding with A and B and C, using the single extruder with same process condition. And we test also the transparency of the material, and it's acceptable and it's good with the compatibilizer as the market standard. So, and we take this film and we do the mechanical test to make sure it's follow the standard for American Society of American Recycler. And actually the dark green here is showing the standard, the target standard for using the recycling in your stream again. So our result showing above the standard. So with using compatibilizer in the material, you will get better mechanical behavior than the standard coming, the protocol we discussed it before. So we test the impact and also the strength of the material for both direction, the machine direction, and also the bubbles direction, the horizontal and vertical. So after we get this result, we back to original material, and we figure out that our specification of recycling material is matching matching the standard or the virgin material when you process it, and some of them they become bigger than or higher than the standard material. which give us idea that you will be able to use like 100% of recycling in your film again, by using directly with using the computerizer. So conclusion, like based in our test, that the using the computerizer will help to produce the film 100% PCR material coming from the post-consumer material or from landfill, which has contamination or the multi-layer of other material cannot be sorted. Also, it's working with different engineering resin. If we're talking about polyamide, if we're talking about PT, if you're talking about ethylene phenyl alcohol, the percentages between or the loading doses between 2 to 3, and which matching the international standard. So most of this work is done with our scientists in North America. Thank you for them. We have the chief technology. He's leading this R&D from last 5 years. Zach. And thank you. Any question, guys? I know it's more deep, technical. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor.
A different material being participated in the blown film process. The question is how homogeneity, if you compare the process for the polyethylene with its group of material, including the linear low density, high density polyethylene, and the polypropylene. So this antioxidant can be used with the same percentage or with the, let's say, a low negative impact that might face. I will reform this question in another form. What is the recommended material to be used for the antioxidant in the blown film itself? If we categorize the polypropylene and polyethylene with its series, including the liner, the high density and low density polyethylene.
Okay, so this antioxidant I presented, or the 14, 16, 14, 15, and 17. This is focusing on polyethylene film. So in circle, we have more than 15 grade. I cannot present all of them here. So no, I can answer it. No, I can answer it. So repeat the question. He confused me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what is the recommended raw material to use for the antioxidant grades that were introduced for the polyethylene, low liner, low density, and high density?
So the standard antioxidant is work with all three. With yeah, they work with all three. In the end, if you're looking for the market, they have different formulation. Some of them they use 2080, and some of them they use linear and low density, and some of them they go with the high density polyethylene. in the end is depend about the final application. But the antioxidant or the production of the material, the principle is one for all this material. Because during the melt stage, the antioxidant is to protect the melt or the polymer from the oxygen. Okay, they just kick out the oxygen from the material, because if the oxygen is come to the melt during the process, they will separate the hydrogen, and then they will start like connected to the chemical structure, and they will have the yellowish in this material coming. So they will protect the material. It's in general. So the percentage will be almost same for all for the different formulation. Is this your question or?
Structure perspective, as you know, the liner contain more amorphous in the structure itself than the crystalline. Mm-hmm. And if we deeply categorize the low density and high density, maybe the crystalline percentage is more.
More, but if you're looking exactly for the in the melt stage, right. In the melt stage, all the material is amorphous. So we protect the material during the amorphous stage. So there's no crystallinity in this way. Right. So the damage of the materials is happen during the amorphous stage. So this is different. So during solid stage, when you go to the solid, you will have the crystallinity. But when you go to the melt stage, it's all amorphous. It's done. Right. There's no crystallinity in this. Right. So the high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene, when they go to the melt and the degradation of the materials is happening during the melt stage, right. Which amorphous stage. So the production need to be during the amorphous stage, which the right, yeah? Yeah. I told you I can't handle it, Ali.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mansour.
So I think Tasniya, they have a question.
We'll take the last question.
السلام عليكم. يعطيك العافية دكتور منصور.
الله يطول عمرك.
I have one question relevant to recycling, let's say, process or practices. In the multi-layer, the tie layer, and you have also the nylon and the EVOH as well. So it is a debate. What is the percentage, the minimum percentage or maximum percentage of this material in the multi-layer, which if you don't exceed it, we can consider that the film is recyclable.
So we work with the market standard or industrial standard, which around like 20% of engineering resin with the rest of polyolefin. You're talking about 80% or 70% is polyolefin. So actually you can say 80% is polyolefin and 20% is engineering resin. So this is what we test.
Yeah, but I mean, is this based on practices or agreement in different, let's say, association? Because some they said it is 10%. Others say you can increase it to 20% of tie layer and nylon content in the film.
What we test is 20%. 20% what we test, which we think it's the highest number, because they have below like 15 and.
Mansour. Thank you, Dr. Mansour. Thank you very much, Dr. Mansour Al-Breiki, for representing Ingenia Polymers and sharing with our audience a very important solutions on the plastic recycling. We hope it will be helpful for our audience and plastic recycling companies. For our audience, in a few seconds, we will be having the chance to question our esteemed panelists in our next session, a panel discussion in the waste management and recycling sector. And now for our panel discussion, I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Asim Al-Muallami, consultant at the National Center for Waste Management, MWAN. Please join us on the stage. Mr. Wael Al-Jaidi, CEO, Saudi Top Factory, a plastic factory, to join us on the stage. Please welcome to the stage. Also, Dr. Mansour Al-Breiki, Manager of Sustainability at Ingenia Polymers. Please join us on the stage. And our very own special, Mr. Saoud bin Bakhit, Market Consultant at SIDF, to join us on the stage and moderating this session. Saoud, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Adel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, our live streamers, our valuable guests, welcome to this live panel discussion. Today we're gonna have our bright minds here from different fields in the recycling industry and waste management. Please, we're gonna have Please, we're gonna have a debate on. We're gonna tackle the issues of the industry. We share knowledge and we're gonna find solutions. Before we're gonna start, please be informed that waste management and recycling industry is an international issue, and we're gonna that needs to be tackled. First, we're gonna start with Mr. Asim from MWAN, the regulator. Please, could you tell us what are the things that we're facing today on recycling?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me in this panel. And I will try to give a clear idea about what MWAN does, what MWAN is, and what we are facing in regard of challenges and opportunities. First of all, MWAN, the National Center of Waste Management, was established in 1440 Hijrit as a regulator for the waste management sector. Our government feels the lost opportunities of waste value and the burden environmentally and economically that waste put on the government. So based on that, the decision came to start to establish the MWAN. MWAN role is to organize the sector, taking in consideration the circular economy and the circular approach. So recycling is one of the main concepts that MWAN is considering while developing the sector and the opportunities for recycling industry, if I can say, to grow. We think that waste is a value, and this is actually the concept that was developed by let me say, that is added to the consideration of waste by the law of waste management. Law of waste management. When we say, and there is recently a campaign launched by MWAN last week under the same slogan, waste has value. Considering that, we can start from the right point, where there is a value, there is a potential use. Where there is a value, there is a responsibility. And we believe that waste has a value chain where the value transfer from one phase to another, from the producer to the transporter to the recycler or whoever treat the waste, down to the landfill, which, as mentioned by CERC presentation, there is an objective and the target for landfill diversion. It is for the MSW 94% by 2035. It is for the whole streams of waste 90% by 2014. So we are targeting to divert 90% of the waste, the eight types of waste, 7 main types, streams, let me call them. One is the special stream, under which comes the the tires, the end-life vehicles, and so on. So what we are facing is a huge potential of economy, which we call it the circular economy, which is developing all over the world. Recycling is cornerstone of this concept. We believe plastic is one of the highest priority and concern in the waste recycling, considering its value, considering its spread of use. I wouldn't say the quantity, because the most reliable number we have in Mawan is that Saudi Arabia produces 107 million tons of waste per annum. 6% of that is, which is about 7 million tons, is plastic. So this is a huge amount per year. And whoever work or invest in plastic recycling will understand the potential, the economic potential in that. And whoever work in the environment, the other side, will appreciate the effort of recycling to avoid the plastic environmentally impact and risk on the kingdom environment in general. So in short, Mawan is there to regulate, to set the strategies, the objectives of avoiding waste impact, and to develop the opportunities from waste to the economy.
If you allow me to ask a leading question on plastic recycling, how much of that is being recycled today?
There is actually no accurate figure I can tell, but it is not actually that much to, let me say, it's not a pleasant number, we can say. But we have a target of 73% of waste, total waste, to be recycled by 2035, including which the plastic waste.
Then I'm going to have a leading question on Dr. Mansour. Since we have this much plastic is being recycled, is there any technologies to improve the processes of recycling?
So they have many technology, but the issue is not in the technology. The issue is for the education and how we do the recycling and how we deal with the recycling. Sorting or the social action or the educate of the social, this is one of the solution, because if you start sorting the material from the beginning, you will solve a lot of problem. This is one. The manufacturing or the recycling company. If you're looking for recycling company, especially here in Middle East, I'm talking, I work more than 3 years in the recycling field, and I visit most of the recycling company here in Saudi Arabia. Most of the recycling company, they damage the material during the process. 80% of the company in Saudi Arabia, they damage the material during the process. I already sit with Mawan and we're talking about this. We're talking with different company, because the idea is not putting the material and recycle it, push it, and it's done. It's not melting and push. This is not the recycling. So the plastic, when the resin producer, after the polymerization, before he sell it to the market or they give it to the market, he adds some additive to protect this material from degradation and from any damage for this material. This is everywhere, everywhere. This is not something new. From the day they produce the plastic, they do it like this. After polymerization, they protect the material and then they put it in the market. They protect it just for the processing for 1 time or 2 times. So when you use it or when you produce plastic, you lost this protection they added from resin producer. And some of the brand owner or some of the plastic manufacturing, they also add some additive for this material to protect it. Okay? But when we recycle the material, we want to run it in the extruder and we want to get it in the end with high quality. It's not coming like this. And they have solution in the market. The idea is, did the market want to go with it? Did they have mandate? Did they have action will happen? We will not create something new here in Saudi Arabia. Europe, it's already run from long time in this. America also is run. They have food grade recycling for a long time. And polyolefin and PET with different material, they have food grade and they reach it and 100% is recycling.
But, the thing is, sorry to interrupt, the same methodology being used here, the same thing that's been used in USA. Sorting, washing, pelletization.
No, they didn't have engineering here. I know like 2 company or 3 company recycling, they have engineering. The rest of them, they didn't have engineering.
All right.
How they run the process?
That's why we're here. We need to know.
So I think they have many sector need to make action in this specific.
All right.
So it's not, the technology is available, but did the market will accept it? Did the market they will go with it? We don't know.
All right. So let's
So
move.
just I want to add something. If you sit with the brand owner or the resin producer, or they will push it to the Mawan and Cirque, and they will say we are waiting for a mandate. But until now, nothing coming in the picture.
All right. So let's move with Mr. Wael, the CEO of Saudi Top Plastic. Going from there to here, so we need to know what are the most common types of plastic that being demanded here.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thanks for hosting us here in SIDF. As Dr. Mansour said, the challenge is not the technology, because there are in the market, there are already developed technologies and proven one. Not working? I think it's working.
Yeah, it's working, but we just put it there.
So there are lots of proven technologies already in the market. The challenge comes usually either from the infrastructure availability in the region, in terms of collection, in terms of segregation, and on the other side, the end user's acceptance. Are they willing to pay? It's a cost-benefit analysis, you know. Are they willing to pay for a high-quality recycled material? If there is no force from the government or from the regulator part, usually, you know, private sector, they will go always for the lowest cost operation, you know. They will not add an extra cost unless it add to them some advantage, you know. So this is why you find a little bit slow movement and moving towards the using of recycled content. But recently, last 2-3 years, we have seen a lot of huge movement and momentum in Saudi Arabia. It's become one of the main targets of the vision, and a lot of action has been taken. Like if you compare our situation today, even a year ago, not even 3 years or 5 years back, we are moving in a very fast speed. So coming back to your question regarding what type of plastics are commonly being recycled, mainly I can say PET, because it's due to the global regulations. It's somehow all connected. At the end, we are in one world, you know. So due to the regulation in other countries where they are forced to use a certain percentage of recycled PET in their production.
Okay.
So this is why the PET recycling technologies becomes developed, and you can see and you can find more than one recycler of PET with a high quality one, which can be used in a food application or packaging solution. Polyolefins comes as a second, like polyethylene and polypropylene, and a very small percentage for engineering polymers in general.
So we can say that the rest is less demand in the market because they are not much produced, or because the recycled one is not suitable for.
See, sometimes it's due to the difficulty, you know, because some of the engineering plastics usually it's not used standalone. It's used as a composite material with different other materials. So there's a challenge also in separating it from the other whatever matrix it was in.
Yeah.
And so there is a technical challenge, but technologies are there, but you need to pay, like it comes with a cost. So as I said earlier, like is the market willing to accept this extra cost to get a recycled engineering polymer material or not?
Actually, in the engineering resin, the processing is different than polyolefin or the olefin, and more costly process or investment in it.
I would like to ask you another question, Dr. Mansour. It's related to biodegradable plastic. Do you think it's a solution for the market to minimize the usage of plastic?
Not for us in Saudi Arabia, because we are the biggest one producer for polyolefin in the world.
تسمح لي I would interfere a little bit. يعني I want to take this discussion to zoom it up a little bit. يعني to one bigger picture of the waste. Plastic comes from different sources, streams. One of them is the MSW, which is mainly the post-use plastic that we are considering. One of the items, the PET, mostly requires facilities to sort and pick the bottles from the domestic waste, and this is not actually available in the kingdom until now. That has to be developed in a scale where that can support the recycling industry. Other types of post-use plastics can be collected, but unfortunately to say that mostly is informal act. The pickers that do this kind of action. This is where comes all the challenges for the recyclers at the present. Now, what Moan is trying to do is, first of all, is to, I would say, to regulate the whole scene for the plastic waste generation, collection, and preparation for recycling. As you have listened to my colleague, my engineer Mohammed, that we are approaching to the 3-bin system, where the recyclables will be available for the recyclers. The time now is, let me answer the question you gave to Dr. Mansour. What are the type of recyclings, if I understand it well? We have 2 types of plastic recycling, the mechanical and chemical. The most popular now is the mechanical, which is actually less efficient, and it causes a lot of loss of value of the waste, and has an environmental impact highly on in their process. The chemical actually is not, there is no example now we can count on. As I know, there are some approaches, one of them by SABIC, for the non-recyclable plastic, because mainly mechanical is hitting and targeting the non-recyclable plastic, which is contaminant, mixed, so and so. So this is one of the things that we are pushing to adopt, the chemical recycling of plastic. I was happy to hear from Dr. Mansour today about their products supporting the recycling, the additives that supporting the recycling approach, cycle after cycle in different levels. And I would say that Mawan is developing a strategy. Starting 2 months ago, we started a strategy study on the specifications and the standards of the recycled materials. This is with contribution of SASO. So that will lead us to understand more what type of products, before they turn to be waste, what the consideration of specification has to be taken for these products when they turn to be waste, to be recyclable in a higher level of efficiency. This is what I heard here, that in most of the products that been produced, mostly they are not taking consideration of recycling, so we end up with bad quality of waste. This is what we want to avoid, in line with what Mohan does. Yeah.
All right. One last question related to the latest regulations on this industry, because we need to have like some shade of what's going on. Do you believe recycled plastic will be used in, for example, food materials, for example? Because currently I believe that SFDA, it's not regulating that, but in Europe it's the opposite.
It's a good question. Let me rephrase it a little bit. Are we going to have a quality waste which can be considered in food product, recycled product? I would say this is the target. This is what we are aiming to. How this comes, if we have sorting of waste from the source, clean materials, comes through well-controlled and with the high specifications transportation process, we will end up with a quality waste, clean waste, that can be accepted in recycling of waste packaging. This is a long journey, to be frank. This is a long journey. It depends on the awareness of the society. This is really a major thing that I think we need to talk about this. We give it space, actually, because not all the waste comes from the individuals or society. There is industrial waste and so on. But we count mostly in recycling on the MSW, the household waste. We need the individuals, the people, the society to understand the value of waste. I wouldn't say the impact of the pollution comes from the waste, because this is the next phase. We don't want to reach up to that, to reach down to that phase. We want to eliminate waste from the beginning. So you have to understand that what you have in your hand has a value, and you have to deal with it on this basis. This will make the sense of the recycler who is driven, motivated by the value. When the materials of his process comes from the producer, and they understand the value. So there will be some integration between the producer of the material that I'm using in my process, in my production process, and the production that I'm doing. That will avoid us from waste of the waste, and provide, I will call it, quality waste.
So it's part of the solution is awareness, basically.
It is one of the major approaches, yes.
I would like to comment a small thing regarding the advantage of mechanical comparing to chemical recycling. I don't agree a lot on this statement. Because, chemical recycling, it needs it should be like on a mega scale to be feasible.
Okay, discussion.
Yes, and just to share the knowledge or different opinions. Mechanical recycling can be in a very small scale, efficient. So it can be scattered everywhere in the country, while the chemical, it should be centralized on a mega scale. And in mechanical recycling, there are some very high valuable materials, engineering polymers. If you do a chemical recycling for them, you are only returning it back to fuel or feedstock. While if you do mechanical recycling in a proper way, not in a simple way or a very, as doctor said, it's melt and push. No, you need to make sure you control the specs and you upscale, advance, you can call it like advanced mechanical recycling to get the maximum benefit of this waste with the lowest cost. Because it's in terms of cost of operation and cost of production, mechanical recycling much lower than chemical recycling.
For chemical recycling, if we're talking about chemical recycling, you need to sort it to get high rate in it. So, and it's giving high rate or high yield, let's say for chemical, you need to sort it to polyolefin. You need to go with BB or BE. So if you want to go to chemical recycling because you didn't want to go with the sorting, so you will not get high yield. Your yield will be less than 50 or maybe reach to 20 or 30. So you need to sort the material. And to get 80% or 85% in the yield in the chemical recycling, you need, I think, BB or BE, one of the polyolefin you need to be there. So if I will go to sort the material and then I will feed it inside the reactor to get the chemical reaction, how much temperature I need to increase the pyrolysis process, and how much I need to put for the extruder, how much the carbon I will produce in this process, how much I will produce here. There's no comparing between the chemical and recycling. If you can control the resource of the material, and if you will get good sorting, if the CIRC plan is working and Mawan plan is working, so the best option for the market is mechanical recycling. And the rest of the material, they cannot be run through the mechanical, they will go to chemical. But if you will take all the material to the chemical, it's not. How much you will invest in this?
Like, it is not this or that. Yes. It is not this or that. Exactly. There is a need for both of them.
Yes.
And this is what actually I said. There are different source of plastic waste coming through. For mechanical, it requires very, let me say, good sorting mechanism and infrastructure to provide the waste to the mechanical recyclers. The chemical is needed for the mixed waste and non-recyclable plastic waste. And I will give an example. In healthcare waste, the medical waste. Mostly what is the practice is going on, it is collected, taken to the autoclaves, and it is being treated. And then we end up with a mixed waste, mostly plastic, different type of plastics, polyolefin or others. And this is for the recycler. The mechanical recycler is not useful. It has no value. It is too mixed for having them in their process. There comes the mechanical, the chemical process, the recycling role.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can say that chemical recycling is basically useful in different situations, but not all situations.
Yeah, exactly. This is required, and the scale of business is also another factor.
Well, we all agree that source of raw material is the most important thing. So yeah, as far as I know, that PET, as we mentioned, that it's difficult to collect.
Mike.
To Starbucks downstairs, you will see 100% recycling water bottle. You have two types.
Yeah.
It's food contact. Food contact recycling 100%. PCR. So we have in the market some food contact material which coming from BCR. It's produced here in Saudi Arabia. It's produced from outside. I don't know.
Mainly from outside.
Outside mostly, yeah.
But in the end, we have in the market, we have some product is 100% PCR, which is available in the market. You can see it everywhere.
Perfect. Due to time constraint, I would like to conclude this. So thank you very much for your valuable information and the valuable discussion. Now we're going to move to we're going to open the floor for Q&A.
Thank you very much for the discussion. My question is related to awareness. A common topic we often see with recycling is raising awareness. So I wanted to get your opinion on what do you think is the most effective method of raising awareness, especially here in Saudi? So yeah, that's my question.
Keep the floor for you. Okay. I really build on our society, what we have witnessed in the last 5 years, the change, the transformation, and the youth of this society. This is actually something to build on. Awareness, as I said, it depends on the approach. Either we think of it as a pollution, a burden, or we think as an opportunity, a value. And this is what we are actually adopting in Mawan. We think that what you have in hand is something you bought with your money, and it is valuable, and you can either reuse it or put it in some stream of recycling. We are witnessing now also, CERC has a good effort in recycling campaigns. They have some machines for bottle recycling located in some places. And this is actually like an initiative. But in the future, the near future, there will be a responsibility for producing the waste. So there will be, beside the value, the lost value, there will be also let me say, a penalty for not treating the waste the right way. I'm talking in general, not in private. So what I'm trying to say is awareness is not just a message spread here or there occasionally, or a poster in the wall, or a message through your mobile. It is something that is continuous. First of all, we now use the term in Arabic, nifayat. I believe all of you using nifayat, not, excuse my word, gumama or zbala or something like this, garbage or something else. We all use the term waste. Where this came from? It is time after time you see and read this word time and after time. So now we are using nifayat. We still use the word mukhallafat, and I see it in some formal sessions and discussions that they use mukhallafat, letters. We don't consider things as letters. Anything that is used and thrown is waste by the terminology of the law of waste management. So it is all waste. So when we think about waste as a value, we are starting the right start. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions? Go ahead.
So the penalty will be to the society or for the packaging company and the producer?
I hope you have heard about the we have launched under the name of Waste Has Value the classification of penalties and fines. We have a classification. Each fine has an amount for penalty, and that includes institutions, companies, or let me call it the commercial entities or the private. Depends on. Yani, it's not something new. We all know that. There is in traffic law, if you throw something through the window of your car, there's 200 riyals. Yeah. And now it is adopted by this list because this is waste violation. So the violation in waste, there is a list, there is a classification, there are some amounts put onto the behavior of individual or the companies or even service provider of waste management.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to conclude, so this mean will cover the resin producer and the packaging company, or no?
I didn't get it.
So if you're looking for the Europe, like I think the company, they pay for the plastic, right? the packaging.
I think
No,
Dr.
this-
talking about the extended
The
producers,
ABR, yeah, the extended producer. Okay, there are two concepts actually. Until now, it is not officially يعني adopted, but it is in the law. The extended producer responsibility and the waste management law has defined what products comes under this term. And we have the BPP, which is the polluter pay principle, اللي هو مسؤولية منتج مسبب التلوث. These are two concepts that is included in the law, and in some point of time, when the society is ready, it will be in place. Inshallah.
Perfect. All right. There's one more question. We're going to have the last one.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. My question is for Mawan. As a regulator, and as a citizen of Riyadh, we're expected to start this journey. My question, when are we going to expect to see the sorting container distributed in the city of Riyadh and the rest of the kingdom?
The fact is, there are some locations where you can see them, and the municipality, Riyadh municipality, has already deployed this and put it in different areas.
What I meant, what was presented during
The three
the
bins.
presentation.
The 3 bins, yeah. See, the maximum level we want to reach is that you have this inside your house. So you deal with the waste in this concept, 3 bins streams, where you segregate within the use inside the houses, or starting from the first point of waste generation. Now, in Riyadh, we are targeting 2025, and there is work is going with the Riyadh municipality and CERC. So there will be something to be announced, I think, soon, inshallah. Considering that Riyadh is transforming in different areas, in different aspects to the future. This is one of them. Waste management is one of them. 2025, inshallah, is the date we are expecting to see that officially, inshallah.
Thank you very much. In conclusion, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our valuable audience. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you very much, our respected panel speakers, for your very interesting, informative, and fruitful presentations and discussion. And now, before concluding, I would like to invite the Market Studies Department Director at SIDF, Adil Sharif, to honor and award the participant. Please join us on stage. We'll start with our speakers who enlightened us today. Mr. Asim Al-Muallami, please join us on stage to receive your award. Sorry. Dr. Mansour Al-Breiki, please join us on stage to receive your award. Mr. Wael Al-Jaidi, please join us on stage to receive your award. Mr. Saoud bin Bakhid, please join us on stage to receive your award. For our audience, thank you for joining us today, despite your busy schedule. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you. Bye.